Texas Tech this last week
Ooh,
just like
yeah.
slowly leaked out that their defensive line coach, and for those of you who listened through us through the playoffs, Tim was very, very high on Texas Tech. And one of the
Yeah.
reasons why they were so high on Texas Tech was that defensive line was elite. Like it was, you say this, and again, I think even people comment on YouTube and Spotify, like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. But like we said that Texas Tech had the best defensive line in the country. It was a pretty given.
Better than Miami, better
Them
than Ohio State. Yep.
State, Miami, Oklahoma, Indiana, like they're all in that group. They're all great teams, but Texas Tech was kind of seen as the best. Now, was that portal related and NIL related? Yes, but it was also a very good coach. He quits, and it doesn't matter what his name is. I'm not even going to look it up. He quits, and he is rumored to be going to USC. But why this matters to Indiana is there is in some
Number one player in the
services,
country.
the number one player in the country named Jalen Brewster. Jalen Brewster's dad played at Ball State with Chirp Chirp with our boy Bryant Haynes, and Pat Coons, who's a Notre Dame grad and someone that's around him, has a very good relationship with Jalen Brewster. In fact, Mr. Byrne, Jalen Brewster and Pat Coons were seen together the week before this announcement came out. And now Jalen Brewster, according to Steve Wiltfong at Rivals and On 3, says that, are you still interested, or are you still hard commit to Texas Tech? He said no. And rumors are that he will be visiting Indiana in the spring, which, to summarize that whole background for you, Indiana has a shot at potentially the number one player in this year's class. And from everything I've heard, it's actually a legit shot.
And we're almost glossing over how important this is in some ways. We're talking about, again, folks, not the number one player on the defense or on the defensive line, or the number one player in his positions group, the number one person, period, that could be leaving high school and going to play college football. That kid, he plays defensive line, but that's where we're in play for. I don't even know. I mean, you can live Google, you might know a little bit here, like the highest rated recruit Indiana football has ever gotten. I mean, well, it might have been Dasan McCullough, but that's weird. But even Dasan McCullough was like maybe a top 50 player in the country. Like, we're still immaculate. We're talking about not only all 5-stars, but the best of the 5-stars. So it is both like an incredible feat that Indiana is at the point where they are like strongly a player and a potential landing spot for this kid, but even more so that like this is what Kurt Signetti needs to do, is to capitalize on the momentum of this team that he's built. And now all of a sudden you're going to be talking about these kinds of players coming to Indiana and contributing right away. Like he's part of that small select group that like, yep, they can be 19 years old and they could have been at prom 7 months before, and now they're opening up against, a North Texas, and they're starting on a defensive line. Like, this kid is very, very legit. So this is big news in terms of the future trajectory of Indiana football. Jalen Brewster changes the trajectory of Indiana football almost as much as Fernando Mendoza did. I swear to God,
So
like, that is absolutely true.
Dasan McCullough is number one, as you point out. A guy named Steven Williams, which I'm sure some of our diehard listeners will know that name, from the class of 2000. So this is since 2000, but all-time recruits. Samson James, remember Samson James? I was getting him over Ohio State. He is third. Gabriel Hill in this year's class, and this is, by the way, according to 24/7. And number 5, rounding out the top 5, Donovan McCulley as a quarterback out of Lawrence North. So yeah, to your point, Brewster beats all those guys.
By a lot.
Yeah. So we've never had a 5-star, truly like a true 5-star high school kid to come out. A 5-star plus, I think Rivals has on him. It is a impressive feat, and it's not sure he is not looking at Texas Tech, or he's not as committed to Texas Tech. Oregon's still competing. Indiana, yeah, there's still some names that we're gonna need to
For
fight.
the more football, I mean, we just reiterated, and I was like, guys, he's the number one player in the country. But like, this is arguably more important than Indiana basketball getting Eric Gordon back in the day, or Cody Zeller, who were like top 5 players in basketball. This is
I actually,
This is like
dude,
such a it's such a
this is
huge
going to
momentum
shock
thing.
you.
Like
This is going to
it is
shock you.
important.
I'm gonna disagree with you.
Oh,
I know.
whoa,
I know.
whoa! Trent's gonna. He just pulled the okey joke with me, and he's gonna now take a basketball take. And let's
Now,
hear it.
is it a bigger surprise and like a bigger statement? Sure. I believe that. But let's not forget that the University of Missouri also got a couple of number one recruits as well. Like the receiver, it's not your boy Luther Burden. Man, I cannot remember his name.
Jeremy Macklin, was Jeremy Macklin that?
No, no, no. I'm gonna have to look this up. Bad
God,
podcasting.
it's this is called two dudes
Okay,
rack their brain from
I
years of
know.
watching
At
ESPN live podcast segment.
9:42, Dorial Green Beckham. Dorial Green Beckham. He was a stud. Like, I
Yeah,
think he was number 1 overall in some services. So let's not, like, act like that is, it would be like the Indiana Hoosiers winning the national championship. Like, it is still, uh, it's still huge, but it's a huge story, but it's not there. But you would agree with me, a top 5 basketball guy is way more impactful than a first year number 1 overall recruit in football, who arguably, I mean, there's been Caden Proctor, great example. Caden Proctor was number 1 recruit in Alabama, left
yeah.
tackle. Was Caden Proctor good? Yeah, we still think he's good. Did Caden Proctor get his ass handed to him in Pasadena? Yes, he did. Like, it's
Yeah.
football is
It's
such a crapshoot.
what is you are right in the sense that, like, listen, basketball is one of 5 guys on the court. One guy can totally change everything. But with Eric Gordon and Cody Zeller, those were both in-state kids that we had a little bit of an
That's
upper
true.
leg on, and we had
Yeah,
a history that we were recruiting off of in terms of national titles and, banners on the wall, that whole thing. Now we do have a banner on the wall for Indiana football for the first time. But Jalen Brewster's like, yeah, he has some Muncie ties. The kid is from Texas. Like, he grew up in Texas. Texas is the hotbed of college football recruiting talent, whatever else. So this is about like giving Indiana a chance to win not only recruits who are good, but recruits of a different culture and background and a history of prep sports that, like, we are not tapping into that level at all yet. So like what he means in terms of like as a gateway to future recruits, I think is more potential there than us winning the best kid in the state of Indiana come play basketball, which great. Like, yes, it's cool. It's just, I mean, I'm splitting hairs here, but I want all of our football fans that are out there that are certainly well versed in basketball and basketball recruiting to understand that this is absolutely on par and probably, in my mind, more important than like an Eric Gordon or a Cody Zeller level of recruitment.
okay, I'm gonna play naysayer again. I think that a guy like Dason McCullough, Jalen Brewster, Dason, obviously his dad coached at Indiana, but Jalen Brewster's dad playing with Brian Haynes and like all this type of stuff. A Julian Lewis committing to Indiana maybe would have been a bigger deal than Jalen Brewster. For me, from a
Mm,
hey, here's the long-term vibe here, because I want to see us get the 5 stars that dad or mom didn't go to our school
right.
or
That
like
have like
or
no
play go
reason.
ties
Yeah.
other than, oh, I want to play with Signetti. Oh, like our NIL is actually going to pay for it
Right.
and like those type of things. Like I don't know if we'll ever get like Jahide Brown. Jahide Brown committing is a bigger deal for Indiana football for my interpretation of long-term success than potentially like a guy like Monshun Sales, because Monshun Sales at least
Right.
like plays at Lawrence North.
Yeah. There's a different right.
So
He plays at Lawrence North where Omar Cooper went and then became like it's a lot easier for Monshun Sales to say to himself, yeah, I think I could be really successful at Indiana. It's way different when you're talking about the best kid who plays at Lakeland High School in Florida, going like, yeah, I want to go to Bloomington and go play up there, even though I know nobody that's been there. I don't have any coaches that know any of the coaches there. I don't know anything else, but I'm going to pick there. So I totally hear you. I like this is the great conversation that we're going to have all off season as we trend up in recruiting and trend up in other things, which is, all right, we won now with this sort of level of assets and resources
mhm.
and pathways. How are we forging new pathways? How are we forging new opportunities at the high school recruit level, at the transfer portal level, with coaches? with all the things that come with being a major program in college football, how are we making sure that we are staying up at the top echelon? And Jalen Brewster is absolutely part of that plan.
For sure. And it's is splitting hairs and talking about recruiting in February. And Jalen Brewster's already committed to one team, and it seems like he's backing out of that commitment.
Yeah.
So, to our point 2 times ago, you never really know with high school recruiting in college football.